No, I don't know how to do that. What are you talking about? Oh, it's on. Well, I guess we're recording them all now. It doesn't really matter.
We're recording what now?
We're recording all of the channels as opposed to you playing Switcher.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes it so much easier because then like the software does the switching.
Joe,
I'm supposed to get an inch of snow tomorrow?
Yeah, it's supposed to be cold at home too.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm not looking for it.
hang on. Before you change anything, I just wait. Go back. What are you doing? Go back. Go back to what you were. No, go back on the browser. Go back. I just want you to know that according to David, we're going to talk about
Nicotinamide riboside. It's an NAD precursor.
See, David recently has become obsessed with health and exercise and weight loss and muscle gain and all of these other things, right?
Okay.
And so
You make it seem unseemly.
I'm saying that maybe there's a bit of obsessive compulsive involved with the ADHD that you have.
That's a thing. I go down these rabbit holes and I become obsessed with something.
I can understand that. I've done that quite a bit and stuff. And I mean, I'm not the healthiest right now, but I'm trying to get back in there since I'm post surgery. So
Right.
Slide, switch and throw the mic into it.
There you
go. Better.
Yeah.
Joseph Schindler, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you guys today?
Good. You are a huge part of all of the groups. And so I thought it'd be cool to have you on and help people understand who is Joseph Schindler.
Oh, well, in the nutshell, basically, I'm, depending on how you want to look at, second, third generation owner.
Right.
This is our 60th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Big deal. Lots of weight on your shoulder when you take over.
Yeah, for sure.
Legacy. Up until 4 years ago, really didn't see a lot in the future because I didn't know very much. And found the ASOL group. That was a big help. Didn't know about Vision, didn't know about ASTA, didn't know about the conferences, and attended ASTA for the first time 2 years ago. Big help. And now I try to attend every conference I can.
Right.
Basically because, there's so much. I mean, I and even though, like, if I can't attend a conference, I go to Keith Perkins classes in Tulsa. So I'm basically diving in because I grew up in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
But I did not work in it. I was more sales. I worked for big box stores, managing.
Okay.
And then, honestly, I got guilted in coming back because my mom was like, your dad's going to have a heart attack and die on you because he stressed that out. I was like,
right.
Okay. I'm kind of stressing myself out here, so I'll come back and start working with him. And big thing is we did not have a great relationship. My dad worked 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and he was the typical shopper that owned a job. I came back and...
Do you understand now that you're the owner? Why he was...
He was owner tech. I mean, basically, when I stepped in, we had a computer that was CD-ROM basically for Mitchell. I mean, that was 2004, so I mean, a little bit about tech, but he still did everything on carbon copy paper.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I mean, you walk in, file system up there, people come in, I want to pay you. Just stop back in. I'll get around to it when I can stuff because he was at the shop and stuff.
Right.
People throw checks and basically tell him, fill it out, just call me, tell me what it is and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the trust, but he owned a job and basically I took over, came in and basically started modernizing everything as much as I could. And then I was out of my element because it's like I'm fighting an uphill battle still somewhat, basically because he still comes in every day because he cannot sit still. But basically, that's who I am. I'm a third generation shop owner that came from the outside and trying to learn the business side.
Okay.
And basically be able to work on cars as well. I mean, I can do a lot, but I do more tech stuff than anything. I enjoy technology, so.
Right, being able to understand it and have a perspective of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like mired up in the middle of this deal of like family business stuff, right? Myself, and I've watched it from the outside, and I've watched like bringing technology in and having this technology in this space, and now like Dad didn't do technology, and Dad didn't want technology, and Dad can be kind of hard to work with because Dad wants to do it the way we've always done it because I'm not afraid that it's going to break something. I know this works, right? Yeah. What kind of guidelines did y'all sit down? Did you ever have a talk where you sat down and said, "Hey, here's the rules of engagement. Here's how we're going to do this"? Was there ever a discussion?
Watch OCC before?
Yeah.
That was the discussion. Whenever everybody left, it was me and him, and we have a rule.
Yeah.
Basically, when we leave the shop stays there. We do not get mad at each other. Next morning, we're perfectly fine. Everybody comes in. If they've ever heard us argue, we thought they would think we hated each other.
Yeah.
It's like, no, when we leave the building, we leave that in the building and stuff. The next morning, usually it's all worked out and stuff. But not really, because he didn't take credit cards.
Oh, wow.
The only reason, it was check or cash.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we've got customers that, as bad as it is, the reason we started taking was warranty companies. We had customers that bought warranties back in the day when they were halfway decent.
Yeah.
And that's the only way they pay.
Right.
So I was like, we've got to take credit cards. He's like, well, we took credit cards back in the 1960s and we lost $10,000 because we got screwed over. I'm like, that was 1960. Everybody has a credit card now. It's not like it was back then. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it basically, no, we never actually sat down and set processes. He was not a process guy. I mean, it was basically get the job done, get in and out. Actually, I dirty deleted a post and basically in the group once, basically I showed the office of my shop and everything. I don't know if you ever saw it or not.
I think I did. I didn't realize it got dirty deleted, though.
I deleted it because I felt really bad because I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And it was the typical mechanic shop that you see what Carm showed in the pictures yesterday. Basically, this is the image. It took $12,000 to fix the office to what I want, and that's what it is now. And basically, he was okay with that. I'm like, I'm not. And so I've had to basically sit down and write processes, set everything up and everything. So, yeah, it's been...
That's a really hard transition for Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's a hard transition for him.
Oh, yeah.
And
is he still in the business?
Right now, because I'm here, well, we closed today because we got everything done, stuff and everything. So I'm trying to work a 4-day work week. My guys, actually, I want 4-day work week. My guys do not want it for some reason, but I'm like, so I'm trying as much as I can to close on Fridays to get everything done so they can see, hey, this is kind of nice having that 4-day work week and everything. Yeah. But he comes in and like basically when I'm gone, he kind of oversees it and everything. But he can't sit down. I mean, I'm like, stop working. I mean, he'll come in, he'll want to do oil change. He'll want to do anything. He'll be 71 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would guarantee he will outwork some guys that are half his age.
Yeah.
But,
Exact same scenario with my dad. And so how does the technology impact him, right? Because you brought a lot of technology into the shop. And I know how it impacts my dad in the family business. And that's one of the things we talked to Brian and Kim about yesterday. Is that, in this case, there was no ownership of that. In other words, the business did not have an account that owned all those things. Mm. It was that another party of the family had ownership of all of those things. And so when that person, something came up, they couldn't be there anymore, they still own all of it, right?
That's me. Basically, I mean, like yesterday, I write as many bills out as I can ahead of time, estimates and everything. Basically, when I'm in West Coast, it's great because I've got 3 to 4 hours. I can get up, start working on stuff and everything. Yeah. I field a lot of the phone calls while I'm gone. Basically, technology is great. I can work from any place, but trying to basically get everything set up and everything. And I've built processes for him now that basically, I mean, I hate to say this, but kitty pictures and everything. This is what you do to this and everything, pictures and diagrams, so he knows exactly what to do. And he's getting better. But yeah, I mean, I tell a lot of people, he does technology. He loves playing video games on iPads. And
really?
Oh, yeah. He plays games and stuff and everything if he wants to do it.
Yeah.
But if basically anytime I'm like, you can do this, but you can't.
You decided you don't want to do this.
So he's resistant to that. But when something he wants to do, well, that gets everybody. So he is resistant to it. But yeah, I've taken a lot of the ownership and basically with the Institute. Yeah. I'm at the point where I'm moving from coaching to the groups. And my requirement is I am the service advisor. I've got to get a service advisor. Yeah. And that will allow me to step back a lot more. And
act as an owner, right?
Like I said, as an owner and stuff. Because basically, right now, the reason they've transitioned me because in an 8-hour day, I can do service advisor job in 4 hours. I've got it down. I'm good at it and everything. So the rest of the time, I can focus on the business. But being able to leave and not worry is my big thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What have we seen happen to the business financials, right? You don't have to share actual numbers. When you really started kind of transitioning into running it like a business, what happened?
Well, basically, I was always, we were making $300,000-$400,000 a few years ago. And I mean, pre-COVID, we were $65, $75 an hour.
Right.
We were making money. I'm not going to say anything. Now we are 162. I'm one of the higher paid shops in the area and stuff. Yeah. We basically almost broke $1 million last year. I had health issues, so I was in the hospital for about 2 months.
Holy cow! What happened?
I'm diabetic, and basically I've never paid attention to it. But one of my toes is slightly longer, and it rubbed in my chute when I was working, and basically got infected. Bone went to the bone, so I was basically went into the doctor, and this is why I tell a lot of people second opinions are great. First doctor was like, "Well, we can cut the toe off, get you taken care of." I'm like, no, that's not the way. You don't have any tests.
Yeah.
And I said, I think I'm going to go someplace else. Went to another doctor. He said, oh, no, we can take care of it. You just need to be a PICC line, which basically is a line from your arm to your heart. My dad went through the
same thing, yeah.
And he goes, you'll have to give an injection once a day and for 2 months. I was like, okay. So did that, got held up, still have my toes. But I was there, so I've had to be more careful about things. And then I broke my foot 5 years ago, so I had corrective surgery on it. In October, and I'm still recovering from it. So there was a lot there. If I would have been in the shop, $1 million would have broke easy and everything because I was not there. Yeah. I couldn't control everything.
Right.
But since we started with them, I'm seeing more net profit.
Yeah.
I am seeing the business actually growing every year.
Yeah.
It's 10%, 20% growth every year.
Right, compared to it being flatline before. Yeah. What have the customers or the clients, what's been their response?
They actually love it because the experience. I mean, basically when we went from paper tickets to, we had Mitchell originally. I mean, it's a dinosaur, but it's a solid dinosaur. Then basically we went to Shop-Ware.
Yeah.
And the upgrade, hey, I can text them. Yeah. And basically now they love being able to get text messages, communication. They can see pictures. Yeah. Brian and Kim Walker, they introduced me to Loom, and that's something I'm using. Basically, whenever I send out a ticket over $400, they get a message from me explaining in detail, hey.
That's cool.
So basically.
That's such a good idea.
It is.
Because they do that when they send me something. Yeah. My rep is basically Danny is my rep. She sends a little video. Oh, Danny's
my rep too. She's so awesome.
She's great. And she sends a little video that basically says, hey, you click here. So basically, instead of just sending a DVI, they get the DVI, but they get, hey, we found this, and this is why I'm suggesting to do this and stuff. So I don't get phone calls usually. I just get approval.
Yeah.
And because I've explained everything to them, unless they have a specific question of, can we put this off or something? But I love that and everything. And Brian and Kim gave me that idea. So.
It might be my fault that they do Loom now because I remember getting a video on Loom from Danny, and the beginning of the video says, Lucas, you trust us too much. I need you to know what your numbers are doing. And I'm like, I'm not even paying any attention, right? Like, I trust you. Fine. It sounds good to me.
I took my time with her because she's like, you looked at that? Yeah, I'm looking at Dave. You all do a great job. I go, just give me the rundown. We're good.
Exactly. I trust you. Do what you need to do, right? Because they're good people and they're going to do what they're going to do.
It's free?
It's free for one version. Then you have to pay like so much if you go over something, I think. But it's like
25 videos.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd be doing like 100 plus a month.
But it's cheap. I mean, it's just like
$15 a month. Yeah.
What's the AI? What does AI do on it, David?
Auto titles, summaries, chapters.
It's interesting.
Video editing, some variables. Cuts up the filler words and the silence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Make it fast.
I could use that. I've never really looked at the AI portion of it, so.
Yeah, that might work. When you think about taking over the business for Dad, and I've got some thoughts or some perspectives on that 2 years ago I wouldn't have had, right? And it's interesting as you bring up net profit. And I think it's really, really, really important that you've got the Institute involved.
Oh, yeah.
Because what we just went through was a business that had been doing $400,000 at the top all of its life, but it did a 90% net at $400,000, right? There was no cost associated with running the business. And so We went to a business that was doing $400,000 at a substantial net because my parents didn't pay themselves. All they had to do was pay the power bill and the gas bill, and a couple employees that were paid pretty low, and they ran it on a bare bones budget, and the money went in the account, right?
Yep.
To a business that was doing $2 and $3 million, but losing money every year, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, and the only year that it didn't lose money, we found out that there were numbers not recorded, so it actually did lose money. They just didn't.
It wasn't shown on the paperwork.
And so I think the one key is like you got to have an expert in your corner. When you come into a situation like that, you're going to take over this business. You're going to run this business.
Yep.
If you don't know the financials, you need an expert in your corner who can look at it and say, here's where you need to be. Hey, man, why are you not here? Right? What coach are you working with at the Institute?
Kevin Clark.
Okay. I don't know him. I'm working with Cecil right now.
Cecil was the reason I started. Basically, I'll be honest with you, ATI, everybody loves to hate them.
Yeah.
Years ago when I first started
Yeah.
the parts warehouse, I'll be honest, we had $3,000 in the bank most months and everything.
Yeah.
We owed them $10,000.
Right.
My parts warehouse was like, hey, we're bringing in an expert. We want you to go to this class. It's a 3-day workshop. I'm like, okay, I'll go. They paid for it because they were trying to help me out and stuff. So I went there. ATI did help me. Basically,
for sure.
They understood the numbers of set my labor rate. So they were the first ones because at that time it was $55. We jumped to $75. So 25 jump just based off we weren't making enough to pay our guys.
Yeah.
And everything. So I was like, okay. So that helped me. So, but basically, like everybody else, their tactics and everything was not something I wanted to get involved with.
Yeah.
So that put me off coaching for years.
Yeah.
ASTA 2 years ago, I sat in one of Cecil's classes, and Cecil's story about his dad.
Yeah.
I'm like
resonated hardcore.
Dude, I go,
yeah.
you are my type of people. I want to sign up with you. So I left there, got a phone call December.
Yeah.
Signed up January 1. I said, hey, I need somebody helping me with marketing.
Yeah.
We don't do zero marketing. No money spent in marketing. My marketing money went to schools, little league teams. That was my marketing.
Right.
And my dad was like, well, I don't need money in marketing. We've been in business for 40 years, 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't, he doesn't spend money. I'm like, I'm not big on that and stuff. I mean, heck, until when I went there, he was against the website.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just do this. So did that. Kevin is a marketing genius.
Okay.
That is his background is marketing. And he helped me get past roadblocks in my head that I could do it, but there was just something always there that stopped me. And we got a marketing plan, figured it out.
Give us an example of one of the roadblocks.
Basically, I couldn't get past myself. I want everything to be perfect. And if you try to do everything perfect, you'll never, you never get any traction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd sit down and I'd write up something. I'm like, that don't sound right. And then I'd go read books and then come back and reword. And you just get stuck in basically a track.
Dude, I was the same way. And I always just had like in my head that people were going to make fun of me or people were going to judge the business or people were going to this or people were going to that. So I never did anything. Yep. It was just like this stalemate. I was stuck. And I was coaching with Rick White at the time. Yep. And Rick said 2 things. He said, perfection is a lie told by the devil to steal the dreams of men. And I said, I said something smart ass, right? Like, I couldn't help myself. I said something smart ass to him. And he said, I just need to point out that there was one perfect human being and we crucified them. So I think maybe we should reevaluate this perspective here. But I was very much the same way. Is because it was like putting everything on the line. It was like exposing everything. And like, I just knew somebody was going to come on and talk bad about me or say this one thing that I screwed up. That's why I don't let David see my Facebook post because I like block him out of it because he's going to be on there.
He's going to have a good comment for you.
Yeah, exactly.
What is with everybody's obsession mimicking like Royal Auto and in the Dave's Auto Center, like walking up to hey Bob, what's the best kind of car? Well, I think it's a Toyota Camry. And what is with that?
I don't know.
They have the shtick down, and everybody else that does it looks like a terrible copycat.
Yeah,
I could see if you did it better.
Yeah,
Chris Enright, you're not doing it any better. Stick to the dancing. Stick to the dancing.
Poor Chris. What is up with you this week?
Chris can take it. He's got
he is. And I mean, he's like the sweetest human being ever.
I know.
I think that's
he's
why
super sweet.
I think that's
And
why
he-
David can't stand it. He's
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
toughen him up.
Maybe a little bit, but
Go out and jump in a cold plunge. Tough enough.
He,
He does.
he takes like I can be so nasty to him, and he takes it all in
With a smile.
stride. Yeah, he takes it all in stride.
And then
He
David
doesn't
tries to
take-
double down and make it
Yeah,
work.
yeah, I do because like he's one of the few people that doesn't take anything I say seriously. So he's just like "Pff, whatever, and it completely dismisses me, which a little bit aggravates me because I do want to get get him a little riled up, but I know like I'm not going to get him riled up because he just doesn't take anything I say seriously. So I appreciate that about him. So I could just say the nastiest things to him, and he's just like whatever, it just rolls off his back. So I like that about him, but. I'm just saying, like, don't copycat. If you're going to do it better,
Yeah, Braxton.
was that Braxton's idea?
Yeah,
The
hey, listen,
copycat thing.
I just do whatever Braxton says. It costs me.
You know, it'd be funnier
It
if
costs
you
me a fortune.
if you attempted to do that,
And failed.
but you're like in the middle of doing something and you just start screaming at him, going, "Are you seeing what I'm doing here? Are you seriously walking up to me with a camera, sticking it in my face, asking me these stupid questions?" And you start chucking parts at him. That would be funny.
Do the fail army portion. Basically, don't go for do the fail
Yeah,
army. Do
yeah.
the opposite and everything.
Well, so what we've learned.
Or you give completely bad information. Like, what's the best?
Dude,
What's the
hey,
best
that's
kind
our
of car?
bet. That's what
I
we-
love.
The Blink
Land Rover.
Yeah.
No. Make it obvious. Like, say, I love Land Rovers. They are so good. The build quality is superb.
I don't
And look,
think I could
people
ruin
get-
somebody's life like that.
I
really
get that
don't.
people get upset that sometimes they break down, but you are driving the pinnacle of English or Indian engineering. And they're owned by an Indian company now? Tattoo or whatever, Motors.
The most views we've ever had on a video.
Was there dinosaur juice or whatever?
Terry said it was, that crude oil was made from dead dinosaurs. And like it was tongue in cheek. He wasn't serious,
know.
but like thousands and thousants of comments
Conv-
about how
I-
stupid somebody that
Conventional wisdom, like that's what people think. And like, oh, I guess it was algae or whatever the hell. Like, you're being overly pedantic. It's dinosaur juice. I don't care.
You talk about the Range Rover and stuff. I actually had a customer come in. Their wife wanted a Range Rover. I'm like, well, I mean, they're great in the snow and stuff. I mean, I won't give you. They got a great traction system, but I go, they're expensive to repair. They always break down. She took that as that's a great vehicle. And he goes like, I blame you every time we have to go to service. And he goes, because no one works on. I'm like, I didn't think she'd actually go buy it. And he's a UPS pilot, so he's got plenty of money. So
Right.
And he goes, the only good thing is it was pre-owned. It came with a better warranty than a brand new one. Stuff. I'm like, I'm great and stuff, but yeah, I mean that one. I'm like, dude, I go, I never meant for you. I go, the traction system's the only thing that I've ever found that was great.
That was
on it and
decent,
stuff. Yeah.
right? Man, some of these cars, like
You could pull it off. You could pull it off. One, I don't want to make the videos, but that's totally what I would do. It's just like give the worst. What's the best kind of oil? I personally love conventional Pennzoil. I think that is the best oil in there. What's the kind of oil filter? Fram. Old school Fram with the black top. Fram. They've been around for 100 years.
they don't actually filter the oil. It's fine.
Yeah, just to go back to what was it, Dodge
When
had
they
that back
clog.
in the day?
What's that?
Dodge back in the day, if you put a frame on it, ruined the motor.
Yeah,
I'm sure
there were
if you
quite a
put-
few of those.
Yeah,
I'm sure if you put Fram in anything, it'll
Well.
ruin the motor.
Eventually, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Filtered antifreeze. We don't even replace the antifreeze here. We just filter it out. Old underwear. That's the best way to use torn up old underwear.
Red rag.
Or red
all the
rag,
filter.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
no,
filter
no,
that
no,
antifreeze out. Put it right back in there.
You got to have
good
the
for
skid
the
mark.
environment.
You got to have the skid mark. If you don't have the skid mark, it won't balance the pH out.
I just want you just get all of the hate comments. It'll blow up. You'll get millions of views just from hate comments.
yeah.
There's a couple. Is it Weber Valley Speedway or whatever? That's just a like straight up troll account. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it before. And
Oh,
stuff.
I'm gonna have to go look it up. David's not seen it. He's gonna sit.
So
here.
we wanted to start a YouTube channel called Blue Balls Automotive. And the entire premise was the moment we were going to show on video that one critical aspect of the repair that everybody's searching.
Cut it.
You cut it and immediately go to the end going, yeah, so just once you get that out, then the reverse is the installation. Hope that helps. Like and subscribe. And then that's it.
You would blow up.
And
YouTube
yeah, right?
Because everybody like, you SOBs, you're not showing anything.
Just something like, so when you're doing coils on certain WRXs, the back coils, to get them out, you have to twist them like 180 degrees, and then they'll slip out. If you try to pull it out,
Ain't coming out.
if they don't come out. If you try to pull it out and switch it 90 degrees or 60 or 100 degrees, you're swinging it around. It will not come out. You have to do a full 180, and then they will barely slip out. It's stuff like that. It's like, and so you just twist it, and then see, it came right out, and not actually show them exactly what they're looking for, because there's always some kind of repair during the day. Like, that was a pain in the ass. Like, okay, let's shoot this for blue balls with the Z. Blue balls, yeah. No,
I can't. I can't find it. I think so there's a real racetrack named after this, and I guess they upset somebody.
Yeah, I remember. I've seen it before and stuff, because I follow a lot of racetracks and everything. So
Right, and so it's like it's a picture of this pregnant lady, and it's saying something about like her and her cousin are expecting, and like it's just constant troll posts like over and over again, trashing this, and like the content got better and better and better, and they just started getting millions of likes and shares under these other people's names. Like, so everybody thought that there was no Speedway, that it was really just
a troll account.
Yeah, and it was literal like best troll job ever. It exceeded anything you could have pulled off.
if you're going to commit to it like that, yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't know.
You got to execute on the trolling. That's the problem. It's just a lot. It's
I don't know. That'd be a lot of work, though.
Yeah, that's what.
Come to that content. It's like, okay, how do I top myself on this?
Right. Well, and I mean, here's the thing, though, is you get 10 million likes on something, you're getting paid, right?
Oh.
Like you're gonna get a whole $16 that day. You know, like you really made some money.
Look at Buckley. Buckley's got one video that's got like 18 million views, and he gets like $3,000 a month check off of it. Because all of his other videos have 200 views, and there's one that's got 18 million views, and it keeps just piling up.
Right. Once the algorithm takes it and runs with it.
Once the algorithm takes it and runs with it, yeah.
I say, because I think Chris has got one that's got a couple million views and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think
He's a lot more consistent because he just put a lot of content out. You'll see that he's got thousands and thousands and thousands. Yeah, he had one video
that went viral.
That went absolutely bananas, and he gets 50,000 subs off of it. But he at least has been making sure to put out consistent content out, and it does get views, especially on his like Instagram and TikTok. Not so much on YouTube. He is working on his YouTube, but
he told me the other day, because we were talking about the counters that I bought, basically. Show you the Facebook.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I'd have to pay like $600 for the Instagram because that's my main one stuff. I'm like, dude, it's Instagram money.
Right.
I go, just go ahead and spend a little bit there.
Be fine.
Instagram doesn't pay jack.
No, Instagram. I don't know that any of them really pay.
Not unless you've got 5-6 million followers, and
I don't even know that followers anymore.
Followers, something
right? Subscribers and followers don't make a difference.
But if you got 5 million followers, if they watch the video, and stuff and
you could
everything.
do really well. Yeah, that's for sure.
On YouTube, it's just watch hours. That's all they care
that what they've
about.
got to
That's
now?
all that matters. Yeah. So your sub count doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Your views don't really matter. It's all watch hours. So if your watch hours are maintained or staying consistent, and the other thing YouTube watches is that you're clicking off of one video and immediately sliding into another video. So playlists becoming more important, where they're just moving one video into another, and so total session time then becomes critical as well. So that if you're able to maintain total session time for an individual, even if they're not watching your content, they will push your content out because you have a higher session time than a more popular, supposedly,
Video.
channel
Yeah.
that does not maintain as high a session time. So, yeah, it's good. It's good to put out, like Chris in particular, who's been trying to sit down and do like these 10-minute videos, was just talking about this, that, and the other. It's like, I mean, start a podcast.
Yeah, because it's just not the type of content that thrives in that environment.
If you're gonna do like the sit down and talk, that's fine. You need to do it more in a podcast setting, or you need to have it highly edited. Because if you do the extra editing and the swooping and the moving and the captions
It'll
and
keep
the
people
insert the
engaged and
memes,
watching.
that's 8 to 10 minutes that you're going to capture someone's attention and hold it, and then slide into the next video or a podcast, because somebody just sets it in the background. They may not even listen to it; they just let it go, and then it'll roll right into the next one.
Unpopular opinion. I kind of feel bad for Dave.
Why?
He reminds me of Dutch. He's right there on the edge of senility, like where he's going senile and losing his mind. And
D?
No.
Who?
Dave's Auto
Center.
Dave's Auto Center. What about him?
Well, I just kind of feel bad. Like, everybody hates him. Everybody's picking on him. He's like
he's popular online. Like, what do you expect? Everybody's gonna love him.
No,
he's popular online and in the automotive industry. Like, what does everybody do the minute you get any type of success or popularity in the automotive industry?
They're going to tear you down.
You are absolutely going to get hated on. It is just pure hate.
I'm just saying he's like the
our first like changing the industry podcast conference. When we get big enough that we can have a conference and a whole bunch of people show up, it's just going to be a haters ball.
Yes, we're going to make sure they get invites first.
Yeah, it just no. Well, yeah, them first. We're going to invite them, but it's just to receive the most hated YouTube channel award is for you, Dave's Auto, and everybody. It'll be just like the Chappelle Show skit. Everybody's like hate.
Bet.
And we get up there, and the speeches are just the most foul things across the room.
It's a pretty good idea. I mean,
it would work.
Yeah, it would.
You think?
I mean,
it'd be entertaining. I don't know anybody would show up. I got this most hated Instagram account award from this stupid podcast.
I'm not gonna lie. I did send a big industry person a message the other day and said the reason that all the other content sucks is because it's so polished that nobody watches it. Right? Yeah. Like, if it's so polished that it's not connectable and you can't relate to it, it's not remotely relatable, and it's just
some people like that though. We get comments all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people. I'm just saying the volume of people who like that are lower than the volume of people who like real engaging content.
The happy-go-lucky people versus the person who middle of the road. Give me a little bit of both sides. Don't give me the.
You seem happy-go-lucky to me. I see you post online.
Put you in your place. I'm sitting there trying to go, okay, got to make sure I'm in the zone. And I can do it for 1 to 2 minutes usually. And then.
You just seem so positive online. Like, I'm a little jealous. I'm not lying. Like, you post stuff online and you seem genuinely appreciative and excited about the business.
I was that way once, and then I became friends with David.
I do have a side, basically, that yes, some days I'm wondering why the hell I'm in this business. But overall, if it was not, I'll be honest, if it was not for the family business, that is what keeps me in that zone. That yes, I'm appreciative of what I'm able to do every day, but it's a load on your shoulders because if I fail my dad, I failed my uncle
for sure.
So
sure.
That is kind of
hardcore feel that right
you
now.
can feel that and everything.
Yeah. And but you don't have a repair business. Like, you started the repair business.
I'm just saying the repair business, but then the other thing, like, I feel the same way that he feels about the other thing.
Oh, your dad feels about Mystery Hill?
Yes, but I'm saying I feel the same responsibility he does about that family business, trying to make sure I do whatever I can to support them, even though I'm not the one managing it or doing anything.
What is completely stepping away from L&N and just moving over to Mystery Hill to spend a year, head down 1 year. I'm going to be 100% in here every single day.
Turns out I have to do both right now. Because if I go to one falls apart, and then I have to go to the other one because it fell apart.
No. You are meddling in one.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And then the other one needs the help because there's nobody there.
Bro, we did $100,000 last month. I'm not sure that it's
140. You said.
I did, and then after the chunk of things we didn't actually get paid for doing.
Oh yeah, yeah, but it's still like Chris is working with somebody, isn't he?
Cecil, yeah.
Is Cecil directly working with Chris, or is he working with you through Chris?
No, he's directly working with Chris right now.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna have to give it some time. How long has Chris been with you?
He's doing a good job. He's been with me since November, I think.
I think October, November's been. Yeah. I remember seeing you post about it.
Yeah, he came in right at the end of October, beginning of November. He's doing a good job. I'm not saying he's not doing a good job. I was being facetious.
$100,000 is not doing a good job.
I agree. There were a lot of things.
Not when you need, what, 160 to pay the bills?
Yeah.
Okay. So he needs to crap out another 60,000.
Let me call him and ask him if he can crap that out real quick.
That's what I tell Juan. I'm like, I need you to crap out another 6 today. Like, well, I'll do my best. You know, okay, great. Thanks.
I think what happened to us is like, and it's a story for anybody that comes in and begins to manage something that somebody else is doing, and it's a story for anybody who is bringing someone else in to manage it. I think it's easy to lose sight. Like, they come in and they've got all these big dreams and aspirations and ideas. People start telling them what they think is wrong with things. I've always been very committed to listening to the employees and listening to what they think is wrong. But I'm also learning you really have to take that with a grain of salt, especially as the organization grows, because they have such a limited perspective. They don't understand what's wrong with the business. They don't understand why it's not flowing. And so you can make changes that have long-term effects that you don't realize. Like, you change this, and this, and then all of a sudden you end up with this huge backlog of work. You can't get parts for certain things, but because we made this other change, now we don't have middle-of-the-road work in the door that sustains you while you're waiting on this big stuff to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like this, it's almost like this whiplash of change. You come in, you make these adjustments, but you don't understand why it was being done like it was done in the first place. I think that there should be a rule that when you bring somebody in, they have to come in and they have to work for 6-8 months before they make any changes.
To understand the business and how it flows.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know it, you're not going to be able to change it. Because
For sure.
basically, and when I got in ASOG, you all gave me the advice to limit my big work. I mean, we were getting engine jobs, tear downs. I mean, and we still do some of them, but I have basically said, if I'm going to do it, I'm getting paid a hell of a lot more money because it's a whole lot more responsibility in a bay tied up for 20 hours.
I think that was mine and your first interaction.
It was.
And the, people ask me all the time why I talk about gross profit per build hour so much. It's because until you look at that number and you know what your gross profit needs to be, and then you throw 2 engine jobs on it and you're like, whoa.
That 20 grand coming in on one job looks great until you see, wait a minute, I could did 17 brake jobs and did the same amount and not taking up nearly the amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Or the liability.
The liability of it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, this dude was rebuilding engines in-house, 6 months ago, maybe a year ago.
No, it's been years. Chris was the last one who did it. Chris has been gone for a while, yeah. So what's the plan, or what's Chris's like game plan to try to backfill with that middle work or that faster moving work?
Lots of things happen staffing wise.
Oh, you got a staffing issue. You just don't have enough people, huh?
Well, and so like I tolerated things that Chris wouldn't tolerate. Right.
Okay.
And so I tolerated some behavior and some things from some of the people, and Chris is like, no, I'm not putting up with this. Now, he did come to me and say, what should I do? And I had to swallow my pride a little bit and say, like, hey, I'm going to let you make whatever decision you need to make.
Yeah.
Right? You do what you need to do. Did I like the decisions? No, but I'm emotionally connected to these people. These people are special to me. But was he right? I think he was.
Yeah.
I think it needed to happen.
I think though your approach, you need to make sure that you're listening to the mindset, game plan, and ask questions. You get very involved, and you want to it's like this, it's like this, it's like this.
Yeah, I do.
And you have that personality where they're going to back down. everybody's going to back
Chris,
down.
that's the positive about Chris. Chris will not. Like
Are
we
you
will,
sure?
yeah, we will argue like an old married couple,
Okay.
right?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We
So
were
rather
arguing
than
yesterday about something.
arguing, say, okay, so this is a problem we're having. How do you see this playing out? And then just let him tell you how he sees it playing out. It's like, well, I can do X, I can do Y, I can Z. It's like, okay, well, walk me through that. Why X? Well, because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, great. Or have you considered this? Rather, you're just you're allowing them to
Problem solve themselves.
problem solve it themselves and make you comfortable. Because at the end of the day, and that's sort of what you have to communicate is like, I want you to make the decision. I don't want to make the decision. It's easier for you to just come to me and go, hey, boss, what you want me to do?
Yeah.
But the problem is that at some point you're not. Then why are you paying them? Like I'm paying you to manage the shop. I don't want to keep paying you if you're going to come to me and ask me every single time. But I'm going to have some difficulty walking away from that. I want you to make the decision. So your job is to sell me on whatever it is that you're wanting to do. I don't care what it is.
Listen to this podcast.
Whatever it happens to be, you got to sell me on it. So sell me on it. Not, hey, just trust me, it'll work out. That doesn't work. That doesn't work for anybody. I don't care like how trusting you are of somebody. That doesn't work. It has to be sell me on this. And so if he can come and you just need to take a step back and go, okay, he's going to sell me on it and I'm going to be comfortable with it. And now if he throws something out there that like this is going to be a disaster, and you just throw a little pushback. Hey, have you considered what if this happens?
Yeah.
Have you considered this variable? And then see how he navigates that. But you're going to have to do that. Otherwise, why pay the guy?
I think we're slowly working ourselves in that direction, and we're learning to work together, and we're learning nuances of each other. And I'm a hard ass in that way. I mean, you know that I'm hell to work for. I mean, I'm terrible to work for
because he meddles.
But the thing is, you also said something that I have a problem with. You get emotionally involved with people and everything. And I have a hard time because two of my employees have worked with me for 15 years and more. So I'm emotionally, they're family almost.
Yeah, and same with clients, right? Like, you know these people. You've been working with these people for years. And so it's a big deal. And like telling them the truth and telling them exactly what they want to hear and having we've got experiences with these people where we've built relationships and they're used to us saying this thing in a certain way and how I handle things, and like then it changes and somebody else comes in. But I tell myself all the time, like, if you really want the business to grow, you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to let them do the thing. Right. And you probably connect with that because you probably went through the same thing with Dad.
Oh, yeah. Basically, for the first year, people come in, where's Joe at? Because we're both Joe. So basically, whatever comes in, where's Joe? I backed down. I'm like, he's out there. Go talk to him. Finally, he said, he goes, go back in and talk to him. He's the one handling it and stuff and everything. So it was the pass off and everything. So, but having someone come in from the outside that's not emotionally involved does help because it takes that equation out of it and stuff. So they might see something different.
Yeah, for sure.
But like David said, what David says is great because having someone to explain to you and you say, well, that's great, but have you thought about, because you're using your experience at that point saying, have you thought about this situation? Because it sounds great on the surface, but when you take this situation, I didn't think about that.
Well, and we just went through that last week because we were talking about the schedule and he had taken back some spots on the schedule. And he's like, we got all this big work. And I said, Chris, I'm with you 100%. But the problem is, if you're not careful, what will happen is you'll get all the big work done, and then you don't have anything to backfill it with. You don't have any more. You can't stop the flow. The flow has to consistently come in. And if you get into a spot where the big work's not going out, we either sold too much big work, there's something going on. What's the shift? Why are we doing this differently? I mean, there's 100. I know in waiting on parts right now, there's $100,000, right? And so I'm like, okay, what's the strategy here for accomplishing this? But we worked through it and we talked about it and we came up with some solutions. And I think that what happens a lot of times is we build these like little protections for ourselves. And we say, I'm not going to do this because this happened the last time I did that. But maybe it was our execution. Maybe it was all these other things that accounted for that. Maybe it was situational. It wasn't the decision. It was just the way it played out. And we made this rule that we've put hard fast in our mind and said, I'm not ever doing that again. Right. And we do this way because of this. Doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. It means that your experience taught you won't get hurt if you do that.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you got to get hurt.
I don't know. I'm just saying I can understand being involved because your name is on the building and it's family. I get that. That makes sense to me. You, on the other hand, no, that doesn't make any sense.
What?
Just let the shop do what it's going to do and go run Mystery Hill.
I am
full time.
I was going to hire you to do that.
I would 100%. I'm not kidding. I would 100% come down and run Mystery Hill if I didn't have a family that I had to be deal with. Like, my kids are in school and stuff like that. Like, if they were little and we couldn't, I 100%, because I would hate to see something happen to that business for it to be around for as long as it has.
Yeah.
And be so wildly successful for years off of the back of just sweet people. Nothing else. They're just sweet people, and it's just a fun attraction. And all you got to do is just come in and just, I don't know how to run a side track or whatever, but you can learn. I'm just saying you can step in, and because it's family, you're going to be able to be a little bit harder and more stern and, hey, this is the way this is going to be.
Yeah.
And you've got a coach that can help you. Hey, this is the metrics, this is the processes, these are systems, and then you just execute.
That dude is a real rock star.
Yeah.
The coach that we hired.
But that's what I'm saying. You've got a coach in place where I'm sure Jordan's fine, but Jordan's not you. His name's not on the business. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not an Underwood business been there since the 40s. Like, that's not a thing.
There's an investment when it's your name on the line. That investment makes you
don't
personally
have
involved to take it to the next level.
I don't understand why the other party didn't look at it that way, though. Right? I don't understand why he didn't. They didn't.
I don't think he considered legacy. I don't think he considered it. He saw it as a cash cow. He saw it as a means to an end. It's like, this is my payday. You see what I'm saying? Like, he approached it as, this is my payday. He pulled the money, so he could live high on the hog. As opposed to, there's a legacy here that I want to maintain. That's a completely different mindset.
It's crazy how mindset drives our direction, right? It changes where we're going.
It's your paradigms. His paradigm was completely different. Was completely different than what yours would be walking into it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think at the end of the day, that'd be what's best. Because right now, you've got your 1 foot in one and 1 foot in the other. And I don't think you're being as effective as you could be.
Yeah. No, I'm
just
100%
step away
with
from
you.
one.
I'm 100% with you. And I think
and
about
it'd be different if you had somebody in place that you could rely on at Mystery Hill. I don't think you don't have that right now. Where you've got Chris.
Yet.
Well, yeah, eventually you want to. I'm not saying you need to be there for forever. But a year from now, wouldn't that dramatically change the trajectory of the business? Yeah. Somebody dedicated would be there for a year.
And look, I have been more active with it. And I can do that from my office at the shop, right? Because they're on the same property. It's not like I'm not there.
Yeah.
And so if they need something, but right now, and for me, it feels like putting out fires. It feels like that's all I've done.
Yeah.
Hey, this subscription right now. Hey, we don't have access to this. Hey, this bill didn't get paid. And so it's just like, okay, now this happened. How do we prevent it from happening again? Let's build a system. Let's document it. How do we rebuild the culture? The culture got destroyed. The culture was destroyed before we came in.
There was just bad culture there.
And so I think that step by step, it's just picking it back up and putting the pieces
You're
back
having to basically start over building the processes so that you have your process in place.
Yeah.
So that you know,
so there is a process
so that
in place.
hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done.
But you have the coach there to give you best practices. So you're not starting from, hey, I'm going to develop this from the ground up with no idea how to do it.
At some point, I will do my very best to get him on the show. I don't know if he'll do it.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to tell you something. What's cool about the guy is he is like hardcore EOS implementer, right?
Okay.
That's what he does. Is he brings EOS and he puts it in businesses, but he does it in this space, and he's really smart about this space, and he really knows this space. He's super soft spoken, and not maybe not soft spoken, but he's super quiet until he like all of a sudden he drops something and you're like shit, you know. But he's a really cool guy, really intelligent guy. And he's got some really cool stories. He's like, you know, I have absolutely figured out how not to do things. Right. And he's like, I have made some mistakes that cost me everything, but here I am, you know, I'm still on the other side of it.
My game plan is to try to sell my shop to Juan. That's going to be my game plan. And he'd be a good operator.
He would be.
Yeah. An owner operator, not just a shop manager. I mean, he relies too much on me to make decisions that I know that he's better at. And with the few moments I have to step in and do something, I end up screwing things up. And he's like, "Why did you do that? I had this all laid out. Like it was A, B, and then C. Why? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel so bad.
But you both learn from it, and he knows. Hey, no, I won't ask David anymore when this comes.
Well,
up.
I'm the backup. So when he's gotta leave or whatever, like I gotta step in.
It's pretty amusing though. I think most of the time he's asking you questions. It's simply to placate you. I think he's trying to make you feel important.
He knows better. Like sometimes he just doesn't know. Like he doesn't know which direction to go, and he just wants some feedback. And sometimes he wants what he wants to say to the customer, how to best word it, is really what he comes to me for.
Yeah.
Like, how do I say this to the customer that doesn't piss him off, doesn't make us look bad, doesn't like cause the customer to lose confidence in us? And so we come up with something to say to them, and then he executes on that. But he would be a much better business owner or shop owner than me. I just got to pay off the debt. I can't give it to him with debt. So I just pay off the debt, and then he doesn't need to pay.
Bro, the dude that came in here and vacuumed the floor last night would be a better shop owner than you.
That hurts my feelings.
I'm just being honest with you. You don't want me to. If you have friends who won't tell you the truth, they're not really friends, David.
You know what it is?
What?
I hate it.
Yeah, I think we all know that by now.
I hate it. I hate it so much. That's what it is. I cannot put my heart and soul into it. That's what I'm jealous of you. You seem like you've got your heart and soul into it.
Oh, I do.
It comes off that way too. It's not just like I do, but you don't seem like it. No, it comes off like you got your heart and soul in it. And I'm a little jealous of that. Not that I want that for the auto repair. Like screw auto repair. Like that is a miserable business.
I had my heart and soul in it, but I became friends with him, and he's just ruined everything in my life that was positive. I mean, you even acknowledged that a few times. Hanging out with David kills your positivity.
I think you are not destined for that's not you. I think you'd be better off at Mystery Hill. I think you would to be like the operator or something like that than a repair shop. I don't know. You don't have you've got the charisma for like that kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know how like your mom was up front and just greeted everybody, and that's like one of the things you guys talked about, like she's not going to be there any longer, but like that everybody's smiling and walking by, that could be you. Yeah. That's 100% down your lane.
He's the face. He'd be the great face of the business and everything.
Yes.
I mean,
like another Underwood there, because you look just like your mom. Another Underwood there, just another 40 years. That would make sense to me. Versus I fix cars. Like, not that there's anything wrong with fixing cars. If I were you, I would totally be into it too. Because my dad was into it, my family, I got the name on it. Like, I would 100% be into it just from the legacy mindset. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. You should think about it.
Oh, that's too big a thought for me.
And the bad thing is, if you knew me when I was in high school, I hated the business. did not want to be anything to do. Basically,
that's a high school thing.
Well, no,
like
it was
a
basically
teenager
I wanted to
thing.
play football.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm a big boy, so playing football would have been right up my alley. And Dad was like, "I need you to come work." Really? I'm like, "Okay." Don't have much of a choice, so I had to go. So it just negatively affected me.
Your perspective of it,
and everything. And then basically, again, seeing your dad work all these hours, it's like, dude, I don't want to work 12 hours days, 7 days, or 6 days a week. So never see family.
It's interesting you say that because in our situation, like I grew up like that. And I just thought it was normal, right? My entire life I was there. And if it wasn't that business, we were building houses and we worked 7 days a week and we worked 12 hours a day every single day. And that's just what we did. We didn't take time off.
No.
And so to me, it felt odd to not want to be going nonstop. And then we get in, when I first joined ASOG and first, started all this, I'm like, why is everybody complaining about this? You know what I mean?
This is normal.
Right? And so with the shop, though, it's a little bit different because it was emotional. It was like things went wrong and like I'm the only person that all of this depends on. So like I've got to be there. And it felt heavy. It felt overwhelming. Whereas, the other businesses didn't necessarily feel that way. It was so interesting because the other person very much was about, I don't want to be here. I don't want to work here. What I'm trying to do is automate this whole thing so I never have to touch it. I don't want any of the employees to come to me. I don't want to be on the floor. I don't want any of that, right? And we were looking at the phone system, and it had 6 automated attendants, and they all pointed back to themselves. And so you had to have an actual extension to get through the phone system. And it you could push buttons and eventually get there, but we tried it. It took 4 to 5 minutes each time to finally get to somebody. And so it was like, okay, why is that like that? Well, I don't want to have to talk to any more people than I have to. And I'm like, holy shit, you're David.
And I'm just telling you, he came in with the wrong mindset. He was the wrong person for that particular role and the position. And it was a job. It was a cash cow. It was like, I'm going to make some money off of this. I'm going to funnel the money to my bank accounts. I'm going to live high on the hog. Like that was it. It's not the same thing as like, hey, I'm the face of the business. There's a legacy. This is a family business. It's different. I'm just telling you. I think you'd be perfect for it. That's what you should be doing.
I'm just going to hire you.
You don't want me doing it. I'm going to come in, fire everybody, and clean up the place, and then hand it over.
He's going to get ready for an investment group to come in and buy it for you.
That's it.
No. That's what you don't want.
I know, but you don't want that.
You want the shop to be.
Yeah.
Sell that thing off to an investment group.
What advice?
Keep the land. Sell the business. Keep the land.
What advice? So there's a lot of people in your shoes, right? A lot of people working for Dad. Gosh, we've had probably 10 or 15 on the show over the years in his exact shoes, or we've had messages from 10 to 15 plus people. What advice would you give both parties, right? So Dad, who's running the business, and son's going to come in and take it over. What is the big thing he needs to know? And vice versa. What's the thing son needs to know coming in, or daughter, or whoever? Starting
with the dad, I would say don't push on change. Basically, the way you did it for 34 years is great, but be open to it. Yeah. I basically now have taken anything I do. I used to kind of talk to Dad, and he shut me down.
Yeah.
And now I do things and stuff, and I take my licks from him and stuff and everything. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, a month later, he'll be saying, "Damn, that's a great idea. When we start doing this and everything?"
Yeah.
And the guys, it's a running joke in the shop. I mean, a tool I buy to make jobs easier, a process I put in place. They all just kind of joke. JoJo did that.
Right.
2 months ago, he goes, "You chewed his ass out basically for it and stuff," and he just kept on going. So I'm like. Basically, be brave for change. It's going to happen. Yeah. They might know some great ideas. Talk with them. Like you said, David said, question things. Hey, why you want to do this way? Why you want to do this way? On the son's role or daughter's role, basically, this is their legacy. They're handing the keys to the kingdom to you. It means a lot to you. It may not mean a lot to you right now.
It will one day.
It will one day.
Yeah.
And for them to trust you, even to think that you can run it, is a big step but you have to prove yourself
Yeah.
and work with them, talk to them and stuff. It's a lot of things. Also, don't be afraid to reach out because, like I said, I did not know anything.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I've learned is I don't know what I don't know.
Amen, buddy.
And basically taking that price right there, you can say, okay, we need to do this, but I don't know how to get there. Talk to people. I mean, I reached out to you about things. I reached out to David a couple times about some things. I reached out to everybody. You can learn from them.
Amen.
And, once you do that, you get a perspective. Because one of the biggest things to me was, and I've learned, basically, I used to say it all the way, it won't work in my area. It won't work here. It won't work here.
Yeah.
God, say something real quick. It works every place. The only thing that changes is the price of a house in a place. I mean, basically by that, I go, because a guy in New York I talked to, he said, eggs cost $6 here. It costs $5 there. Your house starts $100,000 more. He goes, everything's respective to it. He goes, it will work in your area and stuff. Everybody thinks that because they say, oh,
it's just what they tell themselves.
It's easy cop out.
Yeah.
So don't be resistant to that as well, basically when you're changing stuff. But I mean, a lot of it is basically accepting change and then knowing that basically the keys to this kingdom your family's giving you and stuff, the trust is already there. You just have to basically make them feel good about it.
For sure. I agree. And I think what I would say is be humble.
Yes.
Both sides. Be humble.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I see so many people get in trouble over is that they're not humble. So they're unwilling to take somebody else's perspective into account. They're unwilling to listen to what somebody else says. And so then they never learn and they never develop. And more than that, the danger of that is you become somebody that other people don't want to be around.
Yep.
And if you get your information, you get your knowledge, you get your opportunity from other human beings, if you don't have any opportunity and if you don't have any knowledge, if you don't have any influence from outside, man, it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
You're in a bubble and you have basically, you're never going to get anywhere.
That's exactly right. Well, Joe, buddy, we're all so proud of you. We've seen you develop in a big way.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you all.
Yes, sir.